Hello, my child. Today, I bought you some figures. Oh, sweet. What did you get me? Oh, that's awesome!
Greetings everyone, and welcome to my entry for 2015's Whenever the Hell Reviewing Contest. Now before we begin this, I do have to say that I apologize for my accent. First off, it's something I can't help. And second of all, I know it makes me sound like I'm some little kid or something like that. So I'm sorry, but this accent is something that is way beyond my control. So with that said, if any of you are still sticking around, let's dive in. Amiibo are very interesting. They are Nintendo's way of trying to market off of success of Skylanders and Disney Infinity. Well, I don't know if Disney Infinity is as successful, but you get the idea. Amiibo are more often than not a mixed bag in the gaming community. There are some people that like these things, and then there are others that hate them. But the question is, are Amiibo worth gain, and are they worth investing your money into? Well, let's find out. Now it's time to actually get to the fun part. Both sides of the argument. First off, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is a game that, well, requires you to purchase Amiibo just to unlock more characters. You get 2 characters to start with, but the fact that you have to pay $13 to unlock each additional character is kind of a dick move on Nintendo's part. No way, it is a dick move. As for the gameplay, it sucks. And mini games require cards in addition, which you can buy separately, along with the Amiibo. When you think about it, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is a shameful cash grab. The other side that doesn't use Amiibo as much as Super Smash Bros. All this does is unlock an additional fighter that you can use. I mean, basically, you just train this fighter, and it isn't needed, and it doesn't really enhance the gameplay in any way. I mean, when you think about it, the second option is better. But then you have other people complaining that there is no point to the Amiibo if they don't do much. So there doesn't seem to be a middle ground. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground for any of these figures at all. And even if there is, the games that use them aren't really that special to begin with. If there's anything that is good about the Amiibo though, is the amount of details to them. Like for example, take a look at Mega Man's armor, and take a look at Wario's clothing, and you can tell that there was some good effort put into these figures. I don't think people buy Amiibo to unlock content in Nintendo games. I think people buy them just because of how nice the figure looks. And compared to spending $60 to $100 on play arts, it's a much better alternative.
And this is an amiibo you can't get anywhere else. This is Solid Snake. And he makes for good solid food.
Also, if you're a kid and you don't have anything else to do, you've played every single game in the house, I guess you could play with these Amiibo if you happen to be bored.
I am the primal Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm going to temper you to worship me. Now go, my minion! Go and defile those who love the blue arms. Go into your GameStop and pepper spray anyone that tries to stop you. Not so fast, Primal. I am a member of the Scion of the Dawn, and I'm going to kill you. No! Damn you, Scion! Damn you! Oh!
In all seriousness though, I don't think anyone will want to scratch up these figures, so that's probably out of the question for the most part. But anyway, I think people that are interested in Amiibo are those who grew up with most of these games, and are those who are into the retro crowd and such. I mean, there would be any good reason to want to get these things, because in the end, Amiibo are just plastic figures that you can get and pick up at the store. Now, do I recommend going out of your way to gain every single one of these figures? No, absolutely not. To be honest, that would actually be pretty stupid. I only recommend going after a specific amiibo that you like. For example, if you're not a fan of Xenoblade Chronicles, then going after Shulk is pointless. And if you're not a fan of Kirby, you're definitely not going to want to spend $40 for a figure that you're not going to care about in the long run. My point is that Amiibo shouldn't be collected. Eventually, these things will end up becoming worthless. I mean, Toys R Us is already doing a much better job at keeping these things in stock, and it won't be long before Nintendo actually becomes competent. I mean, the same tragedy happened with the Beanie Babies, so I assume that eventually the Amiibo are going to meet the same fate. People will eventually stop caring about these things, so going hunting after these things is completely pointless. Don't do it. Only go after the figures you like, and nothing else. Now, it would be completely foolish if I ignored the last thing that I wanted to talk about. The biggest problem with Amiibo is that Nintendo seems to be finding a way to introduce them into each game and such. And to be honest, I think that's a huge problem. Not every new game that Nintendo announces needs to have Amiibo. I have to say right now that I think the bad outweighs the good. As much as I want to like Amiibo, I can see the problem that these things will pose. Eventually, Nintendo will start to get very greedy with them to a point to where people will be sick of them, and anyone that actually admits to being a fan of Amiibo will only get called cancer and autistic. The truth of the matter is I think in the long run, the Amiibo are going to cause a lot of problems in the future. I do like them for the fact that there are certain characters that will only get merchandise through them. I mean, you won't find anything else related to Ness or Lucas in stores. So it's because of this I think a fair score to give the Amiibo is, well, a 6.5. The good side to Amiibo is that the figures are nicely done, and they're nicely detailed, and they have good effort to them. On the downside, there are games like Amiibo Festival that require you to spend hundreds of dollars just to unlock every single of their characters in that game. Another downside is that Nintendo seems to be shoehorning them into each new release. I mean, even the new Star Fox game is going to require the use of Amiibo to fully enjoy the experience of that game. And that to me is a huge problem. The Amiibo are nice figures, but they're only worth getting if you like the character itself. Not for the game, and not for the content whatsoever. And with that said, I think that's a good time to wrap up this review. However, do know that I'm helping Asa with this year's contest, and that I'm actually giving away prizes. So if you're interested in some Undertale Pearl art, then I highly recommend signing up for this contest and trying your hand at getting them. Thank you for sticking through this review, and of course, stay shy.